You will be very poor in this world, but you will still get to heaven. If you don't pay your tithes, you will go to heaven. But you will go to heaven in a Lazarus style. You will be very poor in this world, but you will still get to heaven.
It's very sad to say, but Christianity is the only religion under the sun that has legalized criminality. Now we have high-level criminals, well-clothed as servants of God, living large at the expense of ignorant, gullible masses. Just continue listening so that you can understand their deceptive scripts of exploitation, their deceptive scripts of manipulation, blackmail, extortion in public.
If you don't pay your tithes, you will go to heaven. But you will go to heaven in a Lazarus style. You will be very poor in this world, but you will still get to heaven. If you are a tither, you will go to heaven in Abraham pattern. There are two ways you can go to heaven. Lazarus went to heaven, but he went to heaven as a poor man. He went to heaven, his body was already eaten up with worm. There were sores all over his body. But the same Abraham went to heaven. Look at the history of Abraham. And Abraham was old and well stricken in age. And the Lord had blessed Abraham in all things. How many things? How many things? How many things? So did Abraham did not go to heaven? He went to heaven. In fact, before the poor man with his sword and dirty body get there to dirty heaven, Abraham was there. Even in heaven, he wasn't given a good place. He was at the bosom of Abraham. Bosom is like a water of a house.
Can you give me one good reason, just one? I'm not asking for two, but just one. One reason why these criminals are not behind bars. How do you justify this kind of blackmail? This is extortion in public, and I believe blackmail is a crime. I believe extortion is a crime. Financial manipulations. But our useless constitutions, they protect criminals like this. You know the popular fraudster called Hush Puppy from Nigeria. He's serving a sentence for fraud. The only mistake that dude made was not to carry Bible when he was doing his 419 Yahoo schemes, when he was conning masses. Had he used the Bible, or had he given himself a title, a prophet, an apostle, a bishop, right now he would still be living large. The crimes that Hush Puppy committed are far much lesser than the crimes that these 419 Yahoo prophets are committing on a daily basis. But no one is calling them to order. Our governments are literally ignoring all these criminal activities. Where in the Bible and how does he justify his clarion call? Because if you are going to be a minister, if you are going to operate in the office of a man of God or of a religious leader, then you must abide by the scripture. What happens when you start teaching things that are not based on the foundational truth of the scripture? We would say you are now a scammer. You are now a fraudster. And you should be apprehended and locked up. Because all this crime is being committed at the expense of desperate souls who are seeking God. And why our governments are quiet? Why are they not taking any measures to lock up these criminals? If there are politicians listening to me out there, if there are Pan-Africanists that really care for Africans, there should be some legislation, amendments to the Constitution that guide masses from being conned in this manner. There should be a religious body that sets rules and regulations and parameters under which demanding or the solicitation of funds can be made in churches, because it is believed that when you are giving in church, you are willfully giving, you are volunteering to give, you are donating. But if the conditions for your donations are based on these type of blackmails, on these type of exploitations, it's no longer voluntary. You have been threatened. You have been blackmailed that if you don't pay your tithe, you will go to heaven, but you will go as a poor man Where is it written in the Bible that if you don't pay your tithe, you go to heaven as a poor man? Where in the Bible is it written that if you don't pay your tithe, you go to heaven the Lazarus style? Do you see how the scripture is completely demolished here? Do you see how the scripture, I can't say misinterpreted. This is not misinterpretation of scripture. This is preaching something that has nothing to do with scripture, but still being phrased within the bracket and using scriptural figures to mislead and to manipulate masses. It's very sad. We still have very professional people, very educated people, learned people in the audience, clapping hands, shouting, "That's true, Papa, you are spot on, you are right." Do you see the power of religion? That's why Karl Marx said it is the opium of masses. All these ones, they are high under this opium of religion. They have no say, they have no free will. They are just moguls, zombies. And I'm not insulting them. I'm just calling out for what and who they truly are. And we should keep on praying for them. But praying for them, it looks like it's not working. Now it takes our governments to chip in and arrest these men. These criminals must be arrested, these pulpit bandits. Because they are committing crime in broad daylight and they are getting away with it. Tell me what you think in the comments. Is this pulpit bandit justified?